McPhee's back. He's making plays. He's disruptive, and they are shuffling everybody around on the offensive line for Minnesota. But I think that's the easy way out. Just blame it on the offensive line. I think that's the easy way out. Yes, they had a tough night, but on the defensive side of the ball, the Chicago Bears were able to run the ball right down the middle of this Minnesota Vikings team, which we haven't seen anybody do that.
Nope.
And they did it in the first drive. They did it really throughout the game. 150 yards rushing. It's unheard of against a defense like that.
Coach said you win in the trenches. Coach Zimmer called them soft. Offensive line, defensive line. I think the defensive line is definitely the strength of the Minnesota Vikings team. They came out soft tonight, man. They lost their mojo. Will they be able to find it? It's still enough games left in the season, but the Minnesota Vikings starting out hot. They lost their mojo. Doesn't look good right now.
This is beautiful. I have these great nuggets on these cards. I can't read them through the sunglasses, so they're literally a prop. Come on, Coach. So we'll hear from Mike Zimmer again, by the way, later in Sports Center. We'll hear if he called him soft last week. Well, what's he going to say now? So how about for the winning team? Urlacher, your Chicago Bears. Is that a real tattoo?
That's not a real tattoo. I'm going to get a real tattoo. That's awesome, man. I love this thing.
I know those are real grass stains. What about the return of Jay Cutler?
Tell you what, we said, how's Jay Cutler going to react? You know, he sat on the bench for a few games and watched Brian Hoyer play. He played a little bit different today. I thought he played with confidence. He had a little swagger. He had some mojo. Dow Loggins did a great job of play calling. They went no huddle early in the game to neutralize the disguise looks of the Minnesota Vikings. The play action game of Jay Cutler was amazing. And we saw emotion. That's the thing pregame on the Countdown Show. We said, hey, we have not seen emotion out of Jay Cutler. And we saw emotion. We saw him high-fiving his teammates during timeouts. I mean, this is not what we've seen traditionally out of Jay. He played great football. He really did.
No, he did. And I want to give their whole team credit. I just talked to Tracy Porter a minute ago after the game, and I was telling him, man, I just wanted to commend their whole team. I played in this league. I've been 1-4, I've been 0-10, I've been all of these horrible records that you are. And this team to come out only having won one game, but to come out and to play as if they were the favorite team, as if they were the Minnesota Vikings. That tells me a lot about this team and the mentality that they have within their locker room that, man, we don't care about what anybody is saying. We don't care about who picked who here on this set tonight. We're coming out here to win at home on a Monday night stage and show the world that, man, we are not quitting on our season.
He picked the Bears, by the way.
I know,
he did.
But I will have to, piggyback that. Dow Loggins, offensive coordinator. Vic Fangio was the defensive coordinator at San Francisco when I was there. Led by Coach John Fox. I thought it was an excellent game plan tonight because one thing that it did show tonight, all three phases of the game played complementary football to one another. That's how the Chicago Bears were able to get this victory tonight.
Jordan Howard has to be one of the stories, one of the heroes for Chicago tonight. 153 rushing yards. The Bears' Monday Night Football rushing record is 157 yards. Sweetness. Walter Payton said that tonight.
That's my boy there.
We'll be back. We'll have much more from Soldier Field in Chicago, where Jay Cutler and the Bears are successful. We'll hear from Alshon Jeffrey. That's also straight ahead. The Bears own Chicago, just for this stuff.
The post-game report is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
Louis Riddick here, as he is every Monday night, to talk about the game. And up front defensively, that's been the Vikings' identity. It was odd to see them gash this way, but the biggest issue as we watch.
I don't really think so, and I will say it this way. Just look at it this way. Teams fall apart inside out, games fall apart inside out, and front to back, meaning this. Centers, guards, tackles, when your team can really start to take advantage of you between the guards, and out on the perimeter, that's the way things start to fall apart. Defensively, the same way. Games. You move back over to the offensive side of the football. I haven't seen offensive tackles look this bad. TJ Clemmons, their right tackle, he had no answer for anything that any rusher was giving him. Jake Long really right now is a backup tackle, an emergency journeyman tackle. Fall from grace, given where he started off in his career. And then you just don't find guys like this on the street. The trade deadline's approaching. It's tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Can they make a deal? Joe Staley, Joe Thomas, those kinds of names. Look, you need two to tango to make deals in the NFL. And then you need capital that teams want and that you're willing to give away in order to acquire these kind of players. I don't really think they'll be able to do it, although it's something that we've all talked about. But this is one of those things, Garrett. Look, this offensive lineman, number one, there are not many guys like that walking around the street who can block the kind of pass rushers that you're facing in the NFL right now. And number two, people aren't going to give them to you anyway if they do have them. So right now, I mean, this is how the Viking season could actually fall apart. A team that we thought would be a legit Super Bowl contender in the NFC just a couple of weeks ago, how quickly it has turned and how they have no answer for it. And that's a scary proposition because there's some other teams right now that are starting to come to the forefront now. And it's funny how the balance of power is shifting quickly in the NFC.
And how often the things we think in September and October completely change by the time we get to as the calendar turns into November and later in December. Steve Levy mentioned that Alshon Jeffrey was on his way over. Obviously, he's happy to see Jay Cutler back. Those two always have a great connection. Back to Chicago and the fellas.
Chicago on their home field. Congratulations on the win. So how were you guys so successful against, Purple Rain and the top defense in the NFL coming into tonight?
I mean, they put on their pads just like us. It didn't matter to us. I mean, no matter who was playing. I mean, a few games that we lost in the past, we know we was right there here and there, but all we had to do was execute. And that's what we did. Stuck with our game plan. Our defense played well. We took care of the ball.
What was said during the week though? You guys come in here, of course you haven't won many games. What do you guys talk about amongst each other coming in tonight, the Monday night game against a team that's supposed to be so dominant?
Jay gave the pregame speech before the night before. So
Jay who?
Jay Cutler.
Huh? Hello.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
Talking about giving relentless effort. Like just give it everything. Just play for each other.
Jay Cutler.
They cover.
You sound surprised.
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm trying to make sure. I want to know who exactly he's talking about. Jay gave an inspirational speech to this.
He said a lot more, but I can't remember a lot of it.
But it was good. But it was good.
It inspired you.
Look for more speeches from him.
I like it. Walk us through the touchdown. Looked like a good play action fake.
It actually was it's called X delay slant. I seen the safety right there, but when he came down for the play action, hold that mic. There you go, bro. It was X delay slant. When he came down, I seen the safety, so I thought they was doubling me. But it went to single high when he came down to play fake.
So you're sell and run for the first 3 steps of the route, basically.
It was a walk, yeah. That's what I.
What'd you do with the touchdown ball? What'd you do with the touchdown ball?
It's been a while since I had a touchdown, so hey man.
You had to give it to somebody, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So you gave it to a young fan in the crowd. So while we're having a good time and laughing about it, so one ball hit you in the back of the head, right?
Yeah.
And then one ball hit you in the face mask in the end zone, and then one you caught. So what kind of night did we have besides the victory?
The first half I think that was terrible. Like you said, the ball hit me in the back of the head. He hit me in the end zone in my hand. I think I had this one, but second half is always second half. You got to play the full minutes. The full minutes. So take care of yourself. Everything take care of yourself. That way it's all about second half. So we had to finish like every game that we had played in this year. We'll play one half and won't play the next half. So Coach Fox always preached play the full 60 minutes, and that's what we did.
Well, anytime, being a fellow #1 receiver, you're the man here. Missing Jay Cutler for 5 weeks, you get him back. Take us through your week of preparation with him, and then how were you able to take your week of preparation onto the field tonight?